Hi everyone. September 5th, 2013. My name is Cue-Ball. Well, that's my gimmick name. I've got a real name, it's Sean. For those of you that don't know who I am, about 10 or so years ago, I used to do a radio show here in Detroit. And I was known as the most hated man in Michigan, Mr. Controversy, because the things I'd say over the air were controversial at the time. It was before the age of YouTube and internet radio. I always spoke my mind. I never sat there and scripted anything. Nothing was ever scripted. The way I felt is what came out of my mouth. And I followed the independent wrestling since the first show I went to. It was an ICW cage match at Lincoln Park High School. I think it was in '97. Maybe '98. But I've always had this love for independent wrestling and the business. I've always wanted to somehow be a part of the independent wrestling business. Maybe not as a wrestler, but in some sort of way, I wanted to be in wrestling. And of course, I did a radio show, and I did a public access show in Lake Orion called the Jobber Hour. And it did a website called NWOW.com. So for some of the older wrestlers, wrestling fans might remember the website. It used to have updates on independent wrestling and whatnot. It used to have independent wrestlers on the radio show, Inside the Ring, Ringside Edge. Used to do some columns and whatnot. But I've always followed the business, even though I haven't really been a part of it. I used to be a ring announcer for Section 8 Wrestling. That used to run out of what's now called the Ritz, and a few things with TZW, Thunder Zone Wrestling, when it first came around. But I've always had this love for the business of independent wrestling here in the Detroit area. It's got a rich history, and I think a lot of people that have been in wrestling know and have been following it for the longest time, and just everyone that's been in its history. But when I see things I don't like, I'm obviously going to make a speech. I'm going to say something about it. And that's why I honestly, I've been put on the blacklist once before because of, I asked the questions that people are afraid of. A lot of wrestlers, I'm not going to say all wrestlers, in independent wrestling here in Michigan, they're not afraid to say it. They'll say it in the background. They won't say it publicly because they're afraid of bookings or whatnot. I've never really been associated with a wrestling promotion, even though I was a ring announcer for a company or whatnot. I was never really affiliated. I was never really called. I never considered myself a worker. I never considered myself part of the group, the bunch, the boys. Even though I have a lot of friends that were wrestlers, made friendships with a lot of wrestlers, a lot of promoters and whatnot. Just, I guess, maybe for the love that I've had for this business. And like I said, I'm not afraid to say things or expose people or expose promotions, wrestlers, managers, whoever the hell they are. But I kind of came up with this idea of shooting the ropes about 2 years ago, and it never really came to fruition because of personal things. But just recently, yesterday, I posted a flyer from the AWWL, which is led by the Sheik's son, Ed Farhat, and it looked childish. It looks like something that was done in the early 1990s, and this is a wrestling promotion that, the promotion is supposed to be this big-time promotion. It's supposed to be the future wrestling, the best in the Midwest, as they've claimed for years. Ed uses his family's legacy, not his family's legacy, to kind of push that, they're the best in Michigan. They've got TV shows supposedly nationwide on all these different stations. I know they had it on WNEW Channel 5 or whatever for a few years. It was on at like 1 o'clock in the morning or some crap like that. And but they're going to be on WADL TV Channel 38 here soon. And I saw this flyer, and it was hysterical because they're supposed to be the best company in the Midwest. They're the big dog. You know, he's got this huge history, 30, 40, 50 years in this business, and he put out this crap flyer. And by putting out this flyer, other people that are on my Facebook, that's where everything starts is online, on Facebook. Everyone started, of course, trashing the flyer because it looks like crap. It looks like crap. And they're supposed to be the big promotion in Michigan, as they claim. I'm sorry, you're not. You have to have more than 50 people at the show. I know that, a lot of the wrestling promotions maybe average about 50. I think that's what the average is nowadays. But you got to be consistent. And considering his long history in independent wrestling, 50 years, you think he'd know what the hell he's doing. Obviously, he doesn't. The company's supposedly been around for 12 years. I didn't even know it was still running till last year. But all of it started because of a flyer. And I posted their flyer online. And I was sitting, I've got these old flyers, okay? I'm going to show you a flyer. Their flyer is dated 2013. I'll put it on the YouTube page. If you're not already a fan of or on my Facebook page, you can look me up. It's facebook.com/IamCueball. I'll put that link on there too, because I actually made my stuff public so you could actually view that posting. But here's a flyer. And if you look at the date, let's see if I can get this right. If you can see the date, it says 1997. That's from 1997. That's a flyer from 1997. 2013 flyer by AWWL, pure shit. Here's a book from ICW. Wow. That looks professional, doesn't it? It looks like a professional company. This is a backyard promotion from the late 90s. It looks better in your flyer. Here's the one and only All-Star Pro Wrestling, run by the late Canadian Destroyer from 2000. That's well, it's not really a flyer, it's a program. There's a flyer, Thunder Zone. That's what a real flyer fucking looks like. Use word art, use clip art, use something. Photoshop, I don't give a shit. If you're going to be a big promotion, you're going to be on frickin' Detroit WADL TV. Make something that looks professional. You want sponsors for your promotion to be advertised on the TV show and whatnot? Make something that looks like you're big time. If you're big time and you have all this experience in independent wrestling, you have all this knowledge, why aren't you the number 3 promotion? Why is Ring of Honor higher than you? Why is TNA? You should be the number 2 company. NWA died. The NWA died and has resurrected itself. And it's doing better than you. You have all this experience, all this knowledge of the business, and no one knows you're even running a show. Usually when a promotion starts, the first thing they do is they collect a fan base. They stay in one town. You're jumping all over the damn place. You're having shows in campgrounds. Is anyone even showing up? You've got another show that's going to be in Kimball, Michigan. I don't know where the hell that is. It's somewhere in the state, I guess. In a steakhouse. Table of 4. Really? I also see that you have these wrestlers that, I'm not going to say, I haven't really been around the business for a while, and I haven't really followed all the guys, but I don't know who half the guys are. Where's the Nate Matsons? Where's the DBAs? Where's the Eddie Venom? Where's Jamie Cox? Where's the top stars in Michigan Independent Wrestling? Are they on your show? No. Why? They probably have a good reason why. Very good reason. Because all these guys work all these other wrestling, all these other independent shows in Michigan and Ohio and Canada, but they're not booked on your show. Kind of interesting. You're showcasing your talent. I'm not saying that they haven't been trained. I don't have this knowledge, but I know the only schools that I know over in Michigan is the House of Truth. I think Severn's still doing it. I'm not positive. Someone will have to correct me on that. But who is half this talent? Are they trained? Are they even working anywhere else? That's the thing that I really want to know. is half this talent working at any other show? Oh, wait, I know why. Because, like something that was clarified earlier today, that another promotion wanted to use your wrestler, and you were telling that promoter that they had to pay them $75 and you got 10% of the booking fee for that show. For someone else's show, not yours, somebody else's show. Why do you deserve 10% of the booking for a show that you're not on, that you didn't book, you're not promoting for one of your wrestlers? I don't know how the business works. I honestly don't. I have no freaking clue really how the backstage stuff in the business works. But that sounds kind of dirty, kind of greedy, like you're just trying to take some money and put it in your own damn pocket. Speaking of money in pockets, with all this knowledge of the business and all these shows, is anyone getting paid? Do you pay all your wrestlers? I'm not going to say that, every show is, everyone has their drawbacks, in independent wrestling. Not every show is going to make money. But if you have these shows taped and all these contracts with these TV stations, where's the money going? If you only run 2-3 shows a year, where the hell is all the money going? What about all these people if you're training them? Where's that money going to? And like I said earlier, are any of these guys actually working on any other promotion? Or did you sign them to a death contract that they can't work for anybody else? Which means instead of them getting experience, they're stuck in your gym waiting for you to find $5 in a vacant building to run a goddamn show. Really. The legacy of your family. You're going to tarnish it by the way you're doing business. Your family has a storied history in Michigan independent wrestling. And you're going to use that legacy as your key to do whatever you want. No, that's not how business works. Like I said, I really don't know wrestling, the whole things, the economics of the independent wrestling business, but it's common sense. If you're going to have a show, make sure you have money. Make sure you can pay your wrestlers. Wrestlers don't work for free anymore. They need gas money. It's $4 a gallon of gas. And you've got wrestlers driving around to a show with maybe 5 or 6, 10 people showing up. How can you split an admission fee between all these wrestlers? And then, of course, the TV show thing. You have the TV show, okay? You're taping the TV show. You have all of these taped matches for your shows. And then, as filler, you put in footage of your father. That's fine. You know what? Jerry, you said something that maybe I don't like the classical stuff, and maybe that was their whole setup, that they're going to, show his dad's, the Sheik's footage, the storied history of all the guys that he used to wrestle that, went to the WWF or whatever. That's fine. But if you, let's say you air, 2 Sheik matches on an hour show, that kind of shows that you don't approve of your own abilities, of your own talent. What does that say? I understand your dad was, this icon in Detroit wrestling, but you can only show the same match so many times before everyone gets bored. The commentators, I'd rather listen to Tony Schiavone drowning in a fish tank of water. Honestly, I'm sorry if it offends you, but it's crap. People used to bitch on my radio show. They couldn't hear me. I just babbled. I think they'd rather listen to me attempt to call a move in a ring than listen to that stuff. Honestly. Honestly, like I said, you're going to be on WADL TV. I know I'm giving you plugs, free plugs, probably more plugs than you've gotten in the last 2 years. And you're passing flyers out that look like crap. I'm sorry. That's not how you do business. There's companies that might not be making it, but at least they look a little more professional than what that thing looks like. I'd walk past it and I'd think it was a for sale sign for a car or for a house, or have one of those little tabs that you pull, call 1-800 whatever. Honestly, it sucks. You know, you should have, like I said, you should have the money. Where's all the money going? Where's it going? Oh wait, I know. You're paying the concession stand guy, the guy that puts the chairs up before you pay the workers. I understand there's contracts with buildings that you have. I understand that. But you should have all this stuff figured out. If you can't pay a wrestler, if you don't have enough money to pay a wrestler, go to an ATM, go to a bank, take some cash out. Make your wrestlers feel like they did something, that they worked for something. If you sign these wrestlers to contracts that they can't wrestle anywhere else, or they have to get your approval, and then they go to one of your shows and they don't get paid, so they're sitting on their ass doing nothing and not able to work. Isn't that a grievance? Can't they file a grievance against you for not paying them for work that they've done for you? Do you ever think about that? Probably not. But you're the businessman. You know, that's so professional that I made a joke about something on a Pro Wrestling All-Stars post about a year ago, and you went ape shit. You're real professional. I understand the legacy. I get it. Make your own goddamn legacy. Stop dragging the family name down. I don't care if I get blacklisted. I'm not in the business. I'm sorry, I'm not a worker. I'm a fan and I'm pissed off. I've been pissed off for 2 years. Been sick of the bullshit that I've seen in the independents. Like I said, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of independents. I research the history. I enjoy it. There's things I don't like that happen. But I can't do anything about it. I'm just a fan. Just a fan. It's just the things that happen, just sad. And a lot of it, I'm not saying it points back to the AWWL, the best in the Midwest, that runs a show every 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, jumping from this town to that town. You gotta have a fan base first before you can jump around. You know, it's terrible. It really is. You know, but I'm just still in shock. You know, I seen the one flyer and thought maybe it was a fluke. Maybe it was a fluke flyer. Just one bad flyer. No, I saw another one today for a show, and like I said, Kimball, and they got the one in Adrian and whatnot, and you know, I just feel sorry because with you having your show, I really, really hope that they don't think that this is the best that Michigan has to offer, because you're really doing a disservice to everybody else who's been busting their ass for years. The guys that do good business, you know, that's the bad thing, is that anyone can have a TV show. You just have to make sure you have the talent and that you put on a good show. And I pray that's what happens, because it won't be good. It'll be fireworks. Big fireworks. So, but everyone, that's all I got to say for right now, because I'm still flustered. I've got more, trust me. I've got more. So, till then, I hope you enjoyed this ramble shooting the ropes. I'm Q-Ball.